Hey guys, Kristen here, and I am with two of my favorite ladies who just so happen to be travelers and YouTubers as well. We've got Nadine. Hey Nadine.
Hi.
And Raya of Raya Was Here. Today we're going to give you some advice on solo travel because many of you have messaged me over the years asking me advice on solo travel. A lot of you have never done it before but really want to, and I'm with two ladies who have done a lot of travel over the years, and solo travel included.
I moved to New Zealand by myself. I actually did a working holiday visa, so it was going to be for a year. So that's kind of where you get like a work visa for a year, and I moved there all by myself. I knew one person from online, a friend from online, and I found it was like my first big trip, and so that was kind of really scary just in and of itself, but it was actually really not bad. Like, I think the scariest part of it was just trying to book the flights, like book and get everything sorted. But once I landed there, I landed at a hostel, started meeting people. I found out where the local sites were to like find the local Craigslist, the local marketplaces. I found a roommate through there, and then through my roommate the world opened up, and it was amazing.
How old were you?
I was 22.
Okay. Yeah. And how about you, Raya?
So first when we were talking about this, the one thing that came to mind was when I was in Cape Town last year. I was with a bunch of people in Cape Town, but then I flew to Johannesburg by myself to do an animal volunteer project. So that was like, I flew by myself, didn't know anyone, and then thankfully with those projects there's a lot of people that usually do it with you, so you get to make a lot of friends right away. But while you were talking, I realized I went to uni in London and went there by myself. I landed in London, didn't know anyone, and just went straight to my uni and checked in, and yeah, I just met everyone right away. For some reason, I wasn't worried about that at all. I wasn't nervous at all. I was just excited to meet everyone because I went to boarding school before, so I was like, it's gonna be the same thing, just living with my best friends, but everyone's gonna have accents.
How old were you when you went to London? You said uni,
17.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow, that is really young.
Yeah.
I like that you also mentioned the volunteer experience because there's so many different types of solo travel. There's the really pick up and go, have no plans. You're just on your own, and if you meet people along the way, cool. But you can also have the choice of just going off and being by yourself. But then there's also being part of a group.
Yeah.
But you're still deciding to take that trip alone, not going with someone initially. Yeah. But you meet people in the group as well.
That's a good way to start into solo travel.
Absolutely. My first solo adventure where I didn't really plan anything, I kind of just booked the flight and went, was London for a week and then India for 3 months. So whoa. Yeah, India is I think if you can travel in India, you can travel anywhere. And I decided to do it solo because I really wanted that challenge. And I wanted that fear, and I wanted that culture shock. I kind of just wanted to go all in. And I
picked a good one.
I did. And it was one of the most amazing things I could have done for myself. I learned so much about myself, about the world, about my likes and my dislikes. And I felt so much stronger as a person and as a traveler by the end of those 3 months. It was amazing, and I can't recommend solo travel enough.
How old were you when you went to India?
I was 23 and I turned 24 in India. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Why did you decide to go solo instead of going with a friend or a family member?
No one wanted to go with me.
That is always the thing.
That's the main one.
People are worried about having that partner or friend to go with, and then they find out that no one really has the time or just doesn't have the interest, so they just don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked all my friends, and I was looking, and I was and nobody wanted to go, no one wanted to do anything. I'm I just chose to move to New Zealand eventually, but I just wanted to go travel for a bit, and none of my friends wanted to do it, and I was you know what? I'm just gonna go by myself. I'm just gonna do it because I want to do this so bad that I can't wait for everyone.
You can't let someone else not having the money, time, or interest stop you. Imagine if she hadn't traveled, she just stayed at home, and now she wouldn't be the traveling YouTuber that she is. You know? You can't let that hold you back.
I think that's the first thing that you have to realize, that don't rely on anyone else to take that dream trip.
When you go somewhere and you plan to either stay in a hostel or, for me, stay in halls or accommodation with the university, you know that there's gonna be people there. I think it takes the fear away from it, for me at least, because my fear would have been am I going to be alone?
I felt like nothing was going to happen until I booked the flight. And once I booked the flight, I was like, oh my god, okay, I'm actually doing this.
Did you feel any regret after booking that flight?
Not after I booked the flight, but I always get like this weird regret thing when I move to places. Like when I move, it's a weird thing that I notice because I've done it a few times. The first night, I'm always very depressed and very like kind of like regretful and sad. It's like this weird emotion that I can't quite describe. But it takes like a day and a half or like about 2 days to kind of get over that, and then I'm really excited again.
I think a lot of people feel that way when they're with themselves because you're so used to being around people all the time in that comfort zone that all of a sudden you're in a place that you're not. It's out of your comfort zone. You know nothing really about, and you're with yourself, and it's scary.
Yeah,
the first night is the worst.
Yeah, I agree.
Always, yeah,
it's because I think all the like pieces, like there's so much chaos before you jump on a trip that you're like, I gotta book my flights, I gotta buy this, I gotta pack this, I gotta say bye, I gotta blah, 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 and then finally you're like, okay, I'm on the plane, I've got to my destination, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm here. Like, this is it. This is starting.
I had a good cry my first night.
Did you?
In London, yeah. Just laying there, because I arrived, I didn't have time to like buy sheets or anything, so I was literally just like laying on a mattress with my like jacket curled up as a pillow, and I was like, what am I doing? Because all my friends were in unis all over the US, and I was like, I'm so far away from everyone, my family, my friends, and I'm signed up to go to uni here for 3 years, and it's always going to be terrifying.
Thing.
Yeah.
That commitment of living and also studying abroad.
Were you scared in India?
The way I did it was I decided to go to England for a week to kind of just ease into the solo travel, and I'm really glad I did that. And I spent the week just walking around by myself, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I had the kind of moment, same as you guys at first, I was like, holy crap, 3 months and I'm gonna be alone with myself, with my own thoughts, this is crazy. But I quickly got over that, and I actually was supposed to be in London for 2 weeks, and I decided I need to go to India right now, so I changed my flight and went, and it was overwhelming at times, but I quickly adapted and got stronger, faster, and like, I felt comfortable quicker than I thought I would. You've never really traveled without a plan by yourself. What feelings come up when you think of doing that?
I guess, being afraid to be alone, because I've never even spent a day alone. Which is...
Are you serious?
Yeah. Because I've always shared a room with my sister, with friends. Like, I'm a people person. I'm not an introvert. So like, the way I recharge is by being around other people. So for me, being alone, I hate it. I'm terrified of it. I really want to do it for this year. It's on my goals for 2017 because I think it will help me grow a lot as a person. My confidence will grow from it.
Absolutely.
But right now, I'm just scared to arrive somewhere and not meet anyone or not know what I'm doing and just like lay in bed alone and be like, I'm just so far from anyone that I know and love.
A lot of people watching feel that way. And now Nadine, on the flip side, who you've done it. What advice would you give to Raya?
I think definitely the arrival into a new country is the scariest thing that you're gonna get through when you're doing solo. But you even said, I'm a people person. You love being around people. Accommodation makes a huge difference. I book hostels because people are so open to like discussion and talking, and suddenly you're just boom in a new country with all like-minded people. So instantly, as soon as I get there, I'm gonna be around other travelers, other people, and I can discuss and I can kind of start planning out that country, like, oh, what is there to do, what have you guys been, or just to talk and help you get over that nerves of being by yourself.
If you love being around people or you're worried of not being around people, I actually had a hard time being alone because I was just surrounded. I was staying in hostels and everything, and just surrounded by other travelers all the time, that if I really wanted to be alone, I had to like lock myself in a room. So that should never be a fear because you'll meet so many wonderful people when you're traveling alone. As a solo female traveler, I have never felt endangered when I've been by myself. I've actually I felt more in danger when I've been with other people. I feel protected. People want to like look after you because you're traveling alone.
Yeah, they do. When you're a solo female, more people want to try and help you because they're really confused at why you are alone and you're traveling by yourself.
Pretty incredible to see people around the world that are just good people that want to help you. And I think also to have common sense and go with your gut feeling is something that you need to really listen to. And as when you do travel alone, your gut feeling gets even stronger, which is great.
And just a little tip, don't be afraid to spend money. So like if you're unsure about walking home, spend money on a taxi, or if you're unsure about certain trains, like spend money on higher class or whatever. Just don't be afraid to just spend that little bit of money to give yourself at least like peace of mind.
People say that like when they travel, they learn a lot about themselves, and a lot of people might think that's like a cheesy thing to say, but it's so true, and you learn it even faster when you're traveling by yourself because you really get to dive into your own head and you don't have anyone else to turn to make your own decisions. You start figuring out your likes and your dislikes, and you grow so quickly as a person in such a short time, and those skills you learn you can use in your life back home.
All of travel, I find that is you're learning to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, but you do so more when you solo because you only have you to rely on, and you realize how many amazing things that only you can do, that you don't need anybody else. So if you're someone who feels that you're having a lot of self-confidence issues, when you solo travel, you'd be amazed at the things that you can do by yourself that you don't need anyone else. You really don't. It's nice, of course, to travel with friends, but you don't need them.
From this little amount of solo travel that I've done, the benefit is that you will always walk away with new friends. Always, no matter what. If you travel with someone that you already know, it's very easy to leave that country not really meeting anyone new or not having any new friends because you've kind of just been hanging out with the friends that you went to that country with. But if you go alone, you will definitely walk out with new friends or even best friends that you might end up traveling around with. So it's such a good way to... I have like friends that I still stay in touch with from, anywhere that I've been.
I found that most of the people I've met when I've solo traveled would have become my best friends.
Yeah.
This is kind of just like touching on the surface of solo travel. So if you have any questions in relation to solo travel, I'll leave them in the description box below. And before you go anywhere, don't forget to head over to Raya's channel and Nadine's channel because we did a video on both of those, and I'll leave them in the description box below and end cards.
There might be up right here right now.
Yeah, they might be. Go subscribe to these guys. They're awesome, and they know a lot about the travel lifestyle, so you'll learn a lot from them. Okay, cool.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Happy travels.